Hey there, we got something really exciting for you. It's called the Intellectual Property School, where we teach you how to make six figures for the rest of your life. If you want to be part of the Intellectual Property School, what you need to do is go below, fill out the application, and then we can set up an appointment for you to have a conversation about you joining the Intellectual Property School, where you'll learn how to make six figures for the rest of your life. The link is in the description, or the link should be in the first comment. So let's get into this video. One of the things that I want to put out, this is personal capital. We teach you and we talk about how to have high limit financial, high limit credit cards, high limit lines of credit, and how to use this money to build out your business. Now, there's a lot of information about Truist Bank on the internet. I want to walk you through a story of what happened to me with Truist Bank. Now, at the moment, I am sitting on almost $1 million. We would go with the personal credit limit, $550,000 on American Express in less than a year. This is my situation with Truist. This is a business credit card, and this is a business credit card. Now, for you to get a business credit card from Truist Bank, you could do that with a brand new LLC. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky with Truist Bank. I went ahead, I opened up a Truist checking account, and I applied for the credit card, instantly got the credit card. First credit card, they gave me $15,000. And the thing with Truist is you cannot ask for a credit limit increase until you've had the card at least 1 year. My second Truist credit card, once again, my second Truist credit card, I got a $10,000 credit limit. Now, this is something that's really interesting. I recently applied for a Truist line of credit of $50,000. And I got the credit card instantly. And then when I applied for the Truist line of credit for $50,000, Truist asked me for my tax information. And this is where Truist has gotten a little tricky. You used to be able to go into Truist and fill out your line of credit application with an the banker at Truist. Now, Truist has a wholly separate department that handles business credit cards, that handles the lines of credit. Now, because I had the tax returns, I was able to provide them, and I actually pushed it a little bit. It was like, hey, since you want my line of, my tax returns, I have no problem giving those to you. It's a 45-OC, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go ahead and make this line of credit $100,000. And they agreed, and I submitted my tax returns, and I got a $100,000 line of credit with Truist. Here's the thing that you have to understand with business credit. Let's talk Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, you could not get a business credit card or a line of credit last year with Wells Fargo. Now you can get a business credit card and a line of credit without providing tax documents. All of this stuff is consistently changing and it's updating. Truist, last year, you could have went into Truist, got the business credit card, and then you could have got a line of credit for $50,000. That is not the case at the moment. And one of the things that you guys have got to understand is when these windows of opportunity are open, you need to jump through because these banks are consistently changing their lending criteria. And, with Truist, the line of credit is nice, but the credit cards, I actually have really good credit. When I got this one, my Experian, because they pulled they pulled my Equifax. My Equifax are sitting at a 795, and Truist gave me a $10,000 business credit card. So that's why things are a little tricky. If you're going to apply for a line of credit, and this is the thing, with Truist, when you go into the bank, the banker's going to ask you a few questions. How much money does your business make? Typically, a bank is going to give you 10% of your gross. So if you're making $1 million, you can get a $100,000 line of credit. If you're making $500,000, you can get a $50,000 line of credit. I believe that Truist is in the process of adjusting how they lend out money, and the criteria has come down. You could potentially walk into Truist, get a business credit card, and maybe a line of credit, I would say of $25,000 to $35,000 without having to provide documents. Now, one of the things that you're going to need with Truist, PNC, virtually any bank, you're going to need to be in business 2 years. You cannot apply for a line of credit with Truist, PNC Bank. Chase, you cannot apply for a line of credit with Chase. And this is one of the things that's with Chase. Chase, if you're beyond the 524, which is Chase's rule, if you have had 5 new credit cards opened in the last 2 years, you cannot apply for their personal credit cards. And sometimes you can apply for their business credit cards, sometimes you can't. This also goes to the line of credit. And with Chase, you're going to need to provide tax information to get a line of credit with Chase. So this is one of the things. And this is why I would say, getting the business credit card with Truist is pretty easy. But once again, I do believe that Truist is in the process of being more strict with their lending. I am rocking a $795 on my Experian, and they gave me a $10,000 credit limit on the business credit card. So now, once again, knowing this with Truist, I can literally go and create another LLC in my holding company situation and go get another Truist credit card. Now, the question is, will I do that? And the answer is no. I got these credit cards. These are my backup credit cards because my daily driver is American Express. Now, why is American Express my daily driver? American Express, in my opinion, is the best credit card issuer for business credit. Number one, I've been back in the good graces of American Express for 1 year. And because I use their products, I spend and I pay off, I am literally sitting on $1 million worth of business credit in 1 year. Now, could I get there with Truist? I think so, but it's probably gonna take me 3 to 5 years to get to that level of business credit. And this is why American Express is my daily driver. Right now, I have an American Express Platinum and I have a new American Express Gold. Both of those cards are new. I got both of those cards this month and I'm in the process of spending $25,000. I'm up to $11,000 on the Platinum and I really haven't started on the Gold, but I'm getting ready to go ahead and spend that money on the Gold. One of the things that you have to understand with banking and getting business credit is banks are continually to change, alter, make moves on their program. And, with Truist, I feel for the beginning entrepreneur, for someone who's looking for a business credit card, Truist is a good choice. And like I said, I do believe that if you went in and got a credit card and a line of credit, you could probably come out of there with a $25,000 to $35,000 line of credit and a $10,000 to $15,000 business credit card, depending upon your credit scores. Maybe you could even get more. But once again, I'm just telling you my experience. I actually do this stuff in real life. I'm actually a technician. I am not a reporter, because this is something else, and I'm going to say this. Anyone that you're listening to here on the internet, if they do not show you proof, the actual card, the line of credit, they show you no proof. They put up no screenshots. They show you no proof. I would be careful with taking that information, because there are some people on the internet that I call reporters. They go out, they get information, and then they come back to the internet and report on the product without actually going through the process, which could be harmful, because I have seen a lot of videos talking about you can get a $50,000 line of credit with Truist. I'm here to tell you at the moment that is no longer true, because if you ask for 50 and definitely more than 50, they're going to ask you for your tax returns. And I'll tell you something that's a little funny. Since I have an S corporation, I have what I call as informational return, where I list all the business activities, the things that I've done from the business, and at the end, I file a 1040 in my name. And I was going out to get a line of business credit, and then I filled out the tax reform, and they went ahead and they were trying to get my business credit. But here's the thing. Since that is an informational tax return, the Internal Revenue Service will not publicly provide that information. So I said, hey, I have an S Corp. I filed a 1040 in my name. So they adjusted the 4509 and put it in my name, and bam, we got tax returns. So this is something you should know, because once again, banks are not used to regular, average, everyday people walking in, coming in with an S Corp, coming in with a holding company and getting lines of credit. So there's a level of education that you must bring to the situation once you're talking to your banker or you're talking to the loan officer. So once again, you can get business credit with Truist, but it's gotten a little tricky. Once again, I'm giving you my experience. I asked for the 50,000 4 weeks ago, and then once they hit me up with the tax returns, I actually emailed the banker and I said, let's upgrade this to 100K and I'll provide the tax returns. And what Truist did is they sent me a 405C form in the mail that I had to fill out. And I already knew, and I actually, because I was talking to the banker, I said, look, I have an S corporation, and what I do is I file my taxes in my name. So if you go ahead and try to get information from the Internal Revenue Service in my business name, they're not going to give it to you. So this is what you do. And she said, oh, okay, that's fine. So we filled out the 4509 in my name for my 1040, got the information, I got the line of credit. So this is why you have to know how these things actually work, because there are many people talking about you can go to Truist and get a business line of credit off the street. And I'm here to tell you, it gets a little tricky. It's a little tricky. And if you're not really doing this for real, I'm going to say maybe you shouldn't be reporting this on the YouTube, because you could be putting out information where someone will go to Truist and they're like, hey, I have a business. And they're going to look at your business on the Secretary of State. And they're going to say, oh, your business isn't 2 years old. You can't get a line of credit. And then, well, we can look at the credit card. So this is one of the things. It's about information, about knowledge. This is what we do here at Personal Capital. We want to make you a powerful and a very strong financially driven person. And we're not trying to, once again, American Express is my favorite credit card, because you use American Express rewards you handsomely. So that's all we got today. And if you want to get into learning how to make six figures for the rest of your life, go below and check out the Intellectual Property School. What we do is we teach you how to set up a business, we teach you how to set up an operating company, we teach you business banking, we teach you business credit, and we teach you how to set up your first internet business. So go ahead, check that out. The link is in the description for the app. Once again, if you're going to fill out the app, completely fill out the app, because if you miss questions and don't answer questions, we will just delete your app. Because once again, to be successful, you have to follow directions. And if you can't fill out a simple app, this sends a signal to us that you cannot go ahead and enroll and do the program and be successful. So if you're going to go in, fill out the app, make sure you fill out the app completely. And that's all I got for you guys today. My name is Glendon Cameron, and I will see you guys in the next video.